Hey everybody, it's Victor Medina with the Medina Law Group, and welcome back to another 5 Fact Friday. Actually, I'm coming to you from the studio where I record all of our webinars and where I've recorded my radio show in the past. And we've been doing more and more webinars because, well, first of all, everyone's stuck at home, but we still want to produce content for people and educate them on the topics that they're interested in. So the best way that we thought about doing that was hosting webinars on a regular basis. So if you're stuck at home, I want to talk to you about a couple of webinars that are coming up that we have recorded or we have produced that are going to be available to you if you're interested. Now, they kind of break down into two groups. If you're a professional that owns a business, or if you're interested in understanding how you could weather what some of the challenges are from working at home or being in a lockdown status, we've got two webinars for you. One of them are 10 strategies in order to survive the coronavirus challenges, specifically on your professional level. And so we're talking about 10 different strategies for you to not only survive in this environment, but also thrive. And so they come from the coaching groups that I work with, and they are 10 strategies that we can share with you. The other one are tech tips for working remotely, and that's also a webinar for people that are working from home and trying to figure out how to work in that environment. The nice thing about those two webinars is that if you're a CPA or an attorney, they're actually available for continuing education credit. So because we are providers for people in terms of continuing education courses, we can offer those for credit. You just have to register for them and write down the codes, but you can actually get credit at home watching these couple of webinars. So I'm going to recommend those to you. If you're somebody that's just part of the general population and you're concerned with two topics, the first is, should I do estate planning? And the second is, how is the coronavirus going to impact my retirement? Well, those are webinars that we're hosting as well. And so we're going to include links for all of those. Each of those last two webinars, how the coronavirus is going to affect your retirement and whether or not you should do estate planning, and we think that estate planning is in fact essential, then what you can do is those webinars are actually about 35 minutes, so they're not too long at all. The other ones, because they're continuing education credit, go a little bit longer. And so in any event, we've got 4 of those, and we're going to include links for all of that in addition to our normal links for the way that we do our 5 Fact Friday. Now, I do want to go through the 5 links for this week. The first one is what I'm reading, and I was really touched by an article that talks about how the coronavirus is going to present a new normal going forward. The way things are going to change, and they're probably not going to go back to the way that they are. And I'm seeing that even in my own practice. We've gone to a distributed model. And by the way, we are open for business, and we're taking new clients, and we're working on new client matters. So if you're interested in estate planning or are looking at your retirement and making some changes in light of the volatility of the stock market, especially if you're facing retirement, we're available to help, and we're working on client matters. But we've gone to a distributed model where a majority of our workers are working from home, both in compliance with the governor's executive order, but also because it's just the smart thing to do. But the way that we've changed our services and the way that we have modified the way that we deliver them are probably going to be things that we stick with even when things return back to normal. So it's going to be interesting, and I thought that link was important. The next thing is what I'm watching. It's just a live stream of baby animals. And what's nice about that, and the reason why I don't offer it as a link, is I really believe that you need to create margin in your life if you want to be able to deal with a lot of these challenges. So a lot of the struggle is if you're constantly circling the drain, worrying and concerned about what this is, you won't have the space to think creatively or innovate around your world. You won't have the space to create this sense of normalcy, and sometimes even just something as simple as looking at a live stream of other animals will help with that. And so I just want to kind of offer that as a fanciful way to remind you that you need to create some distance and understand how you're going to respond to challenges rather than reacting to them. The next link after that is what's on my home screen, and I just found a good link of different apps if you're stuck at home, both for Android and for Apple. You all know that I'm an Apple person, but I did want to make sure that you had an additional set of resources. That's great out there. I think that there are a number of providers that are giving you opportunity for e-learning, putting their courses online, all this kind of stuff, and so that's another link in that area. Now, there are 3 more links, 2 in legal and retirement financial, and the other one is just a bonus link, and it goes like this. The legal link is a number of people are rushing to do their estate planning. In fact, the webinar that we created is called Estate Planning is Essential, and we took it off of a play on this idea that only essential businesses are open, essential retail businesses. But you know what? Estate planning is an essential activity. If you're facing a challenge like what's coming up, not having great estate planning documents in place is going to make things worse if you have to use those documents in this scenario. For instance, all the probate courts are closed. Something happens and somebody in your family dies, you can't even open up a probate and you can't move forward on this. So there are solutions for that. And one of the topics that I go through in the webinar is 3 things that haven't changed, even though we're facing the coronavirus challenges. And they include things like you could still get sick or die. People who plan make out better than people who don't. And if you fail to plan, there's still a mess. So all of those things being still true, this is why it's essential for you to get your estate planning done. And as I let you know, we've got remote and virtual meeting opportunities, and we've got novel solutions for executing documents. And so if you're interested in making sure that you've got a great estate plan in place, reach out, because we've got the capacity to deal with you. Our full team is on board and ready to work in your service. The next link on retirement has to do with not letting the coronavirus challenge knock you off your retirement plans. So if you're not in distribution phase, but you're in accumulation phase, you shouldn't look at what's going on here as a reason to stop accumulating assets and planning for your retirement. It's really important that you do all of those things. And finally, there's a bonus link, and they are what the link I think is called Hilarious Home Working Fails. And so I actually have 4 people in my house right now trying to do home working. I've got 3 boys trying to do e-learning at school and 1 wife that's trying to do her work at school. Well, thankfully, I don't think anybody has suffered any of the fails that you're going to see in this link, but it is a challenge. And it's a funny way of looking at some of the stuff that we're facing right now. Look, the coronavirus is serious. I hope that everyone in your family is safe and well. And if we're trying to figure out how to get through this together, we have to come into it with a sense of positivity and optimism that we will survive this and we will be better for it. We just have to work hard at each one of those steps. So all of those things I will want to present for you as opportunities for you to engage in additional learning and get more resources. If you're a CPA or attorney or anybody that just owns a professional services company, look at the 2 webinars on the 10 strategies to survive the coronavirus, as well as tech tips to working remotely. Again, CPAs and attorneys can get that for credit, but you have to pre-register for that. And then we've got 2 general learning webinars. One of them is for how the coronavirus is going to affect your retirement, and the last one is why estate planning is essential. And those are each about 30 or 35 minutes, and they are available on a regular schedule. They're offering the webinars. Find a time that works for you, attend and learn some more. And if you want to take advantage of this lull of being home and getting stuff done, especially if you found it difficult to make it to the office for an appointment to get this stuff done, but you're now home, we are completely up and running and ready to work with you to create your estate plan, either to get your ducks in a row or to protect assets for the future, as well as looking at your retirement planning and making sure that you've got a plan that can weather all of the volatility and put things in good order. Listen, I hope everything is good with you back where you are. We're working hard, we're safe here, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks on the next 5 Fact Friday. See you later. Bye-bye.